This girl keeps eating. And eating and eating. In the end, she became like this. Her name was Anya. She had a muscular boyfriend. But the harder he worked out, the more she ate. Now she looked at the flesh in her belly and was worried. She could not hide her fat. But she tried and tried again. This one was too fat, this one couldn't fit, this one split directly. It was even more embarrassing later. When her best friend saw her, she thought she was pregnant. Her boyfriend couldn't stand her fat and broke up with her. Anya had nowhere to go and had to sleep on the balcony of her best friend's house. She became sluggish. She lay down all day and kept eating. She kept refreshing her ex-boyfriend's status. Finally, her best friend couldn't stand it anymore. She found Anya and said, "You should cheer up. If you want to save your ex-boyfriend, then the best thing you should do is lose weight. As long as you become thin and beautiful, he will definitely reconcile with you." These words completely awakened Anya. Anya finally made up her mind. She wanted to lose weight. First, Anya wanted to exercise. She walked into the gym and saw beautiful women training. After watching and lifting twice, tired. After changing to another equipment, tired. It was almost done. Anya went to weigh her weight. She was really tired, so she must have lost weight. But seeing the numbers unchanged, Anya gave up immediately. If she couldn't exercise, just take a shortcut, covering belly with slimming cream and wrapping it in plastic. But at night, Anya slipped into the room kitchen quietly, opened the refrigerator. 1, 2, 3. Don't move, you robbery. Her plan failed before it even started. It seemed that the problem must be solved fundamentally. Anya decided to fast. When hungry, she drank water, but in the evening watching the cake she made, Anya walked around and told herself to hold back, but the little eyes on the cake were calling her. "Sis, come eat me." In the end, Anya could not hold back. She ate the cake in tears. She hated being fat. She also hated that she can't resist the temptation. The angrier she was, the more she ate. Anya felt that she was in a vicious circle, until one day, Anya participated in a weight loss group. A chubby guy pointed out the key to the problem. Actually, everyone subconsciously felt that they weren't that fat. But if they wanted to lose weight, they must face their fat. And tried their best to change it. Chubby found Anya. He asked her to help to urge each other to lose weight. Anya agreed. The first time she ran, Anya ran very fast, but she collapsed after 2 minutes and 51 seconds. The second time she ran for 4 minutes and 14 seconds, with Chubby by her side encouraging her. Anya persevered gradually. Slowly she ran longer and longer, longer and farther. She mixed fitness running. From the park to the forest, from the beach to the mountain, from the half marathon to the full marathon, and kept exercising even if it rained. Only when she was tired did she stop. One of the two major guidelines was to open your legs, and the other was to stop your mouth. With the help of Chubby, Anya learned to record her own diet. To control calorie intake per meal, she insisted on eating only vegetables and not meat, each and every day. Her efforts finally paid off. Anya lost 30 pounds in a month. Now she was going to find her ex-boyfriend. A sexy girl came over. Her ex-boyfriend saw her eyes straighten. Now no one can expect that this girl looked like this a month ago. Seeing her ex's eyes, Anya was very happy. She lost 30 pounds in a month, just to make the ex-boyfriend regret it. Anya deliberately didn't look at him. This trick really worked. The ex immediately leaned forward, and deliberately showed off his figure, to attract Anya's attention. Anya was so happy. But at this moment, a thinner and more sexy woman came over. She was his current girlfriend. Anya was heartbroken. She thought losing weight would save her love. Who knew that the greater the expectation, the greater the disappointment? The collapsed Anya reached Chubby for help. Chubby helped her analyze that Anya grew up in a single-parent family and lacked paternal love, so she relied on her boyfriend to fill her inner vacancy by eating. If you want to change the status, you must get the love and approval of your dad. So, Anya contacted her dad and appointed him to meet, but the meeting was not smooth. Her dad already had a new family. Chatting at the table wasn't right. Anya said that she was a dessert chef. Her dad said that his sauna was sold in the capital. Anya said she'd be promoted soon. Her dad said that a governor came. Anya couldn't talk anymore. She began to recall the memory, but her dad only remembered that Anya made him irritated. In order to make dad happy, Anya went to try his sauna in the summer. Unexpectedly, just taking a sauna, a fire was ignited. Anya's bath towel was also lit, but her dad only cared about his sauna. "Is this your revenge on me?" Anya was distraught and walked away wrapped in a bath towel. Now her best friend was her only support. But she knew that her best friends moved to other places for her career tomorrow. Anya's mentality collapsed. She begged her best friend not to leave. Her best friend was too angry to take care of Anya. She kept procrastinating. Tomorrow was already the deadline. The best friend finally broke out. "Like a best friend, you never supported me. You have all kinds of problems. Don't I have any too? You should grow up." Anya had to leave in despair. Originally, Anya thought that being fat was her biggest problem, but she didn't expect when she was thin, her life didn't get better, but get worse. But there was another good thing. Her ex-boyfriend finally reunited with Anya. Chubby held flowers to find Anya. He leaned on the window and looked in, but the scene inside made him stunned. Anya was kissing her ex-boyfriend. It turned out that the ex-boyfriend saw Anya after losing weight. He quickly dumped his girlfriend and ran to get Anya back. Now Anya finally fulfilled her wish and used weight loss in exchange for her love. After that, the ex-boyfriend said very proudly, he was very happy to separate this time. It gave Anya the motivation to lose weight. He was very satisfied with the weight loss. Hearing this sentence, Anya was angry. During this time, she had a very difficult time. She didn't want to love her boyfriend anymore, but he didn't take it seriously. He said that he would lose weight when he got fat. Anya finally understood that her boyfriend only loved her thin appearance. She drove her boyfriend away. She was very sad. She worked so hard to lose weight, to get back to a scumbag. She wanted to find Chubby to complain, but this time, Chubby ignored her. Because he saw Anya entangled with her ex-boyfriend. Chubby was disappointed with her, and didn't want to talk or be friends again. Chubby gave out a broken apple and said that this was what you were, glamorous on the surface, but inside it, you were rotten. After that, Chubby drove away. Anya finally understood that she had messed up. She didn't know what to do. Anya, who had nowhere to go, can only sleep in the rice fields. The next morning, Anya was still asleep. She didn't notice there was a giant harvester approaching her in the distance. It was a blind spot and the driver cannot see Anya. The harvester got closer. At the critical moment, a native found out that she was in danger and rescued her. Only then did Anya discover that the savior was her mother's boyfriend. He handed Anya a water bottle. Anya just took a sip and immediately spit it out. It was alcohol. He was really an alcoholic with alcohol at work, but Anya sat down peacefully because she got to know this man. It turned out that she had misunderstood. The man was not a drunkard, but he made a living by making wine. After learning that he really cared about his mother, Anya finally accepted him. When Anya returned home with the man, her mother was excited to tears, and began hugging and kissing them. After experiencing everything, Anya was a little touched. By looking at her mother, she realized her selfish past, and began to take care of others. She immediately rushed to her best friend's house. She cried and apologized to her. As a friend, Anya'd support her decision, and love her forever. Her best friend finally broke into a smile. She knew Anya had grown up. She could leave with confidence, to develop her own career. As Anya gradually found herself back, her life seemed to be back on track, and all the good things followed. At this moment, her father appeared at the door of the house. He got out of the luxury car in a suit and leather shoes, and put on the morale in memory. He danced the favorite dance for his daughter. He realized that he wanted to make amends for his daughter. The daughter couldn't help laughing. This time she gave her father a thumbs up. Anya finally has the complete love of her parents. Now Anya's heart was left with the last unsolved problem. That was Chubby. Today happened to be Chubby's competition. Anya rushed over and learned that Chubby worked hard during this time, but still wasn't accepted by his colleagues. He began to abandon himself. Fortunately, Anya rushed to slap over the beer in time. She confessed to Chubby that she was sincere. Because of his company encouragement, she overcame the difficulty of losing weight, learned to love herself, transformed from an ugly duckling into a white swan. She became beautiful and strong. Now she also wanted to help Chubby get better. She pulled Chubby up to the starting line. She hoped to help him rekindle his confidence. They could not be accepted, and form a group who were worried about weight. They ran together to support each other. In this self-competition, Anya finally figured it out. Life is not going well because of imperfect body shape, but because she cannot accept who she is. Now she will take the most precious of herself and be strong.